What's up, everybody? Michael Martin from Yahoo eSports here at Don't Park on the Grass in Seattle, and with me is Team Liquid's Hungrybox. Let me just start with how are you doing with this event so far?
It's cool to be in Seattle, and it's an amazing turnout for the first event in a series. So the fact that they brought what looks like 1,000 people here is really impressive.
So talk to me first, how big of a deal was it for you to finally get this EVO win?
It meant a lot to me because in the back of your mind you're always wondering, what if I never win an EVO? What if I never get a chance to be the world champion? And the fact that I was able to win it after an amazing streak during the summer really cemented, just for that time being, for that season, I was the best player in the world. Between March and July, I was just kind of on fire pretty much, and it was a really good feeling for me because that's all I'd wanted for a very long time, and I finally got a chance to experience it. And right after EVO is when I had to move from Georgia to Alabama for work, and that whole move really messed with my whole Smash regime, really messed with my mindset, my general happiness. I saw my results and my play style just not as good since doing that, and I had that kind of fourth place at Shine, a pretty bad loss to Mango at Super Smash Con, and this horrible performance at Big House 6, and it was just that's not the kind of person that I wanted to be. You know what I mean? I wanted to be the champion that I was back in the summer.
You talked about you leaving your job. Talk to me about how you get through that and how you sort of, I guess, recover from that.
You have to realize that when you do something for long enough, you fall into a routine about it. So that's what was. I had the work, I had the stable income, but I had the routine as well. Everything in my life had this beautiful balance to it, and I really do attribute that. And then all that kind of left me as soon as I went to Alabama. My job became something that I wasn't looking forward to. It was kind of like, oh God, I got to go here again and all that. And I started wondering about general happiness and what I really wanted to do. And that's why in January I'm going to start a coding boot camp. But it's something else that I want to occupy my time with, because I don't want to just sit at home and just stream occasionally and then what do I do the rest of my time? And I think doing this would be a good way to stretch my mind and balance it out, and while also obtaining skills.
So you talked about just now winning EVO and sort of that feeling of if you're ever going to win one. I mean, obviously between Smash, fighting games, Street Fighter, everything, there's a lot of people who've never won an EVO, right? There's a lot of people who maybe have gotten close, but just haven't done it. How do you feel that win, I guess, contributes to your legacy? Obviously, you still have, I think, quite a career ahead of you. You still got some years ahead of you, I think. But how do you think that contributes to your legacy, or where do you think your legacy is right now?
Well, it was cool because until the EVO win, I think people saw me as a Smash Bros. Pro, and I think after that win, I really gained the title of an eSports a figure, you know what I mean, to say the least. I'm not going to call myself an eSports legend, I don't know, Daigo or Faker or something like that, but it was it was.
I mean, you're a Smash guy.
Yeah, it's a nice title. It's a nifty title. But right after the moment ended, and I had the emotional reaction afterwards. So you have to understand that was 10 years of frustration just released, and to finally get that, and I'm just that's what it meant to me, and it was a way for me to understand that if I can literally put my mind to anything, and I know if I just have at it long enough, I will get there.
I saw you tweet about this. You went to the Game Awards. You were up for, I think it was eSports Player of the Year against a bunch of other players across all games.
Right.
And I know that you had something that you wanted to talk about specifically. What is it that you would have said?
I had it all rehearsed back then too, so it's a little hazy now. But in general, I would have stood up there, thanked everyone who voted for me, thanked my team, my family, my girlfriend, and I would have told people, just the first thing I would have said is, I play a game called Super Smash Bros. Melee, and we were able to obtain 200,000 viewers for our grand finals of our largest event, EVO, even though we're 15 years old. And I would have asked everyone, how do you think a game can be 15 years old and still be this relevant, still create this kind of fervor in people? And I would have said that's what happens when you mix nostalgia with teamwork. It's what happens when a bunch of people who are passionate about something get together and try to create something that's larger than the sum of its individual parts. That's what Melee really is. And it was a grassroots community at first, and until 2013 we survived on our own. We survived the release of a new Nintendo game because we truly loved the game. We truly saw the depth it had and how it brought people together.
Over the years, I mean, we've seen, I guess, this sort of awkward relationship with Nintendo and the Smash community as it's grown into an esport. Why do you think there's sort of this hesitance for them to promote Smash as an esport or be more involved?
I have no fucking clue. What are they waiting for? Yeah. My guess is legal issues, because there's so many. Smash is a title that has a lot of you have the Fire Emblem characters, you have Donkey Kong, you have Game & Watch, you have Pokemon. Yeah. Maybe there's a lot of legal entities and music that they can't be sure. If it's legal, I understand, but they see the people. Right. Run a worldwide Splatoon tournament league. Tell me how much excitement that gets. Tell me how many entrants you get, people playing that. Now run a Melee league and tell me that. And the thing about Melee too, you not only do you have the people, you have content creators, you have tournament organizers within a moment's notice will organize for you a 2,000-man event in the largest city in the country. They will do that. That's what happens when you love the game. Nintendo doesn't have to find people. It's all within the community. It's all already like organized for them. We have guys who work on statistics, on ranking, on control modifications. We have people who work on gaining, esports coverage and news coverage. People who work in esports teams, for instance, working with sponsorships and companies, getting them involved. It's all everything's already in place. So what is the hesitation? Why not? Just take the jump.
A new console is coming, a new Nintendo console is coming, and with that, it appears a Melee HD is coming. And
hard to believe, right?
Yeah, so I've always kind of thought, is it because this game, Melee, is an old game, and they don't, they would rather promote newer things than an old game that they can't, I guess, sell? But with the idea of a Melee HD coming, do you think that has an effect, or what effect do you think it has on Smash as an esport?
Obviously Nintendo, first and foremost, they're a company, and they need to make profit, they make money. But you remember Iwata, rest in peace. His famous words that he always said was, on my business card, or my card, I'm a businessman, but in my heart I'm a gamer, sort of thing. That's the motif Nintendo truly lived by. I think they respected his wishes a lot, and I think in order to respect his wishes with these upcoming consoles like the Switch, they have to remember that. They have to remember that I think no matter what, Nintendo, they will profit. Sure. Everyone loves their products. Their fan base is just out of control. They can release pretty much anything. As long as it's pretty much decent, people will buy it. So I don't think they need to worry about that. They need to get back to their roots. Get back to making games. Not too many gimmicks. Not, you had the Wii with the Wiimote and motion control. Now you have virtual reality coming out too, and I guarantee you that especially have virtual reality compatibility. Sure. And that's cool and all, but they have to also remember why they got there in the first place. What made them so special. So with the Switch and with Melee HD, I mean, the fact that it's rumored that Melee is being released in the first place, I think that's the first time Nintendo has ever released anything Melee related since in 15 years now. So we're all kind of holding our breath and waiting to see what it's going to mean. If they decide to integrate some sort of online capability with it, that would change everything. If they decide to add new characters or stages, that would change everything again. If they decide to port Melee perfectly, glitch for glitch, frame for frame, pixel for pixel, that would also change everything, because now you have massive access to this game. You don't need Melee discs anymore. You don't need SD cards. Now it's on the.
You don't need to carry around those big ass TVs either.
Exactly. And you know what else there is to it? Melee now cannot die. Yeah. There's no discs being scratched anymore. I mean, we data mine the game. We have ISOs now on our computers, but to have the first company, the pop of Nintendo, release it again, to have it on the virtual console, that means a lot. That's bigger than you think it is, and I think it's going to help the community grow even further.
Where do you kind of see Melee as an esport going or growing in the future?
I think the grassroots efforts have done everything they can at this point. We have a good thing going for us right now. We have tournaments like this one right now, but we have the sponsors, help partnering up and like that. But the people who organize it are still at its core smashers. That will always continue. That will always happen. ever since Melee got popular again. I think it's going to have good attendance for here to the next decade. But it's that first party support, like I was saying, that is the next natural step. That's what's going to bring us from a very popular game into like a serious lifestyle for more people, because people are willing to put in that work. So it just depends on the decisions of Nintendo and all the affiliates that they have. That is the next step. And I am happy that other companies, Red Bull, Twitch, all the other big sponsors, Monster, all the ones that are partnered with my team Liquid, they're taking the initiative to see Melee as more than just Super Smash Bros. As that party game, but they're seeing it as like this is legitimately a very unique and very special and very important fighting game, and in some ways it might become the fighting game.
You won Evo. Team Liquid's NuckleDu wins Capcom Cup.
Amazing.
What does that mean to you that two of Team Liquid's players won like two of the biggest events of the year? Yeah.
I'm very proud to be on this team. They've been amazing to me. They've taken great care of me. They've brought my buddy on Lewis as well to help me out. They're a team that cares, and I think there's a lot of new esports organizations popping up now.
Sure.
Backed by very successful people like basketball players, like investors. Liquid has been around since 2000.
Yeah.
They are first and foremost an esports team, and they know what it means. And I think like the vibes and the support from the people who run the corporation or run their team, their words and their support mean a lot to the players. And NuckleDu he's a shy guy, quiet, very humble, and for him to now be sitting with that 230 grand, just for being a kid who was picked up because he thought he was he was good at Street Fighter.
If you won 230 grand, what would you spend it on?
You know what? Should we talk to SafeBox or CrazyBox?
Let's talk to CrazyBox.
All right, because SafeBox would invest it, but CrazyBox, I'd calculate. First of all, I'll calculate just how many more days I'd probably be alive. I'll divide it by.
Sounds morbid.
No, I'll divide it by no, I won't divide it. I'll divide it by 2 probably, and then I'll calculate just how many Chipotle burritos I could eat in that lifespan. If I ever did Chipotle, I'd get that number, and I'd go to Chipotle, and I'd say, hey, if I gave you guys this much money, can I buy a gift card? That gives me full access to it. So I'm spending $10,000 on a Chipotle gift card. That way I'm set for life for it. Now the other $220,000, I'd probably buy a fat corgi.
Okay.
Named Eustace or something, and then I'd get a house, a chill house, with a nice setup in it, and a pool, and a hammock, and I'd save the rest, and probably could go into tournaments, because I've run in life that I don't need too much. I just need these buttons and a reason to play it.